I'm going to equate this with the Chiefs like this, man. So what I always learned when it came to like boxing, like when you watch a heavyweight bout and it's for the championship, you have to beat the champion. Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this week's episode. Felt so bad about that one, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. Here we are, Bobby Light. Here we are. Welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds helping you cast the bets. We're up on the Super Bowl week here. We're a week away from the big show. What we've all been waiting for. Unfortunately, it's going to be the end of football season, but the biggest game on the planet. So we're going to dive into a little bit of the tidbits from what happened last week. Go into this week moving forward and kind of do a little preview. And we'll reserve our picks for coming up on Wednesday afternoon. How's the week been going, Bobby?
Oh, the week's been good. Been a long one, but the weather has finally broken our way again.
Yes, thank God. Snow is finally melted. I can see my yard again.
Yes, that's the longest it's ever hung around.
Yes, it's a beautiful day.
All right, I'll start off with this just to get this out of the way. The Blues are in free fall right now. 4 in a row. They got blasted by the Colorado Avalanche last night.
It was 4-0 after the first period.
Yeah, 4-0 after the first. Ended up losing 5-0, but it didn't matter. It was over in the first 10 minutes of the game. So, Brandon Saad gone off the team, obviously, scooped up by the Vegas Golden Knights for $1.5 million. So now you've got 3 former Blues on that team with a good chance to win the Cup again. Golden Knights look strong. But, yeah, the Blues, I mean, they're right now looking at it. They're 7 points out of a playoff spot. Calgary's still got 2 games in hand. I mean, it's not over, but the way they're playing right now, you might as well because you've got the 4 Nations coming up, trade deadline after that. There's a couple more pieces that'll probably be moved off this team.
Yeah, because they don't look like a playoff team right now.
They made the trade for Perunovic to the Islanders. Perunovic, you put him on the ice, give him some ice time. He's actually played really well in the 3 games.
Of course.
Scored a point in each game. His plus minus is like +3, I believe. So it's just Doug Armstrong really screwed this blue line up. He really did.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, like I said, hopefully we go into this is like a building block season. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, it is. It is with that. But we just wanted them to be a little bit closer than I think. I perceived them to be a little bit closer than I think they actually are.
Yeah, I thought they were going to have a little bit better chance of the playoffs this year, but unfortunately, it doesn't look good.
Goaltending's not good. The defense isn't good. You're not getting consistent scoring out of your forwards. I mean, you've got 3 guys right now making over $8 million on this team, and none of them are scoring.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, that's not how you win hockey games.
Nope.
So. Well, we'll put a pin on them Blues for a little while, man.
For a little bit.
Put those boys on ice, no pun intended. But either way, so let's kind of do a little recap from last week here. So last week they had a big championship weekend. Obviously, the first game we'll dive into was the Eagles versus the Commanders. Pretty much the Commanders got totally outclassed.
I took them 6 points.
I did too.
You could have been 16 points. It wouldn't have mattered.
Absolutely. I picked them to even win the game, because I thought they had a chance to go ahead and pull it off an upset there. But again, the Eagles pretty much showed that they outclassed the Commanders. The Commanders were probably a year ahead of schedule. They look good. They got a lot of promise for all those Washington faithful out there. So we'll see what happens going forward. But, I mean, the Eagles, they just played tough, man. I mean, they were forcing to, because it wasn't even that the Washington was turning the ball over. The Eagles were taking the ball away.
Right.
I mean, they were absolutely taking the ball away.
And then they couldn't stop the ground.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right off the get-go, Saquon, 60 yards, right off the get-go. Then his next run was that they got down to the goal line, was another touchdown carry. But, again, I mean, Saquon, they're saying, might be one of the best free agent pickups in football history, especially if the Eagles go on and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it definitely. I'd say Drew Brees probably held that title before Saquon.
Or Reggie White.
Reggie White with the Packers,
because he was like one of the first
the Packers around. That really turned that defense around.
Yeah, because he was one of the first ones there. But, the Eagles' defense looks really, really tough right now. I mean, on all 3 levels, they look really good. I mean, you got Jalen Carter up front with Nolan Smith. Those guys are stacked. And then you got Zach Barn. He was a great pickup. He's a special teams guy.
Right.
Might be possibly Defensive Player of the Year because he's had sacks.
Yeah, I'd say Dave had him.
Yeah, I mean, he was producing every week after week. Big
he was
plays.
a top 5 linebacker.
Yes, turning the ball over. Like I said, he was
number 3.
Yeah, he was a defensive. They said he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate right now. I mean, because he had sacks, turned the ball over. I mean, he's tough.
Yeah, no, he balled out this year.
Then you go to the second. the secondary. They did a great job drafting with Quinyon Mitchell, a rookie. And they also got Cooper DeJean, the rookie. And then that Blankenship, him and Cooper DeJean and Blankenship, they call themselves the Exciting Whites out there for the Philadelphia Eagles. You haven't heard that one? Yeah, that's what they call themselves, the Exciting White. Because defensive back usually isn't a position that you see a lot of.
Can't even remember one since Adam Archuleta.
Jason Sehorn. But so but they're looking good. I mean, Darius Slay still making plays out there. So on all three levels, their defense really doesn't have any holes.
That defense was stacked. I had that in fantasy this year.
Yeah.
It was a good defense.
And so when you can run the ball with the combination of Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, that's what makes it open up even more for Jalen Hurts.
7 rushing touchdowns last year.
Oh, yeah, that was insane. That was insane. I mean, they couldn't do anything to stop the ball.
No.
I mean, nothing at all. But again, good season for the Commanders.
Oh, yeah, you have to be happy about that.
Yes, I mean, they got a lot of promise looking forward. I mean, they got some draft picks. I mean, making some moves in the draft, maybe a couple free agents. There's a lot of guys that want to play with Jaden Daniels now because they saw what he can do, saw that offense.
T. Higgins to the Commanders.
Hey, you never know. Him and Scary Terry together, that'd be one hell of a combo.
I got to break out the Joe Theismann jersey.
Yeah, he broke the glass on the Joe Theismann there. Hoping he was going to go back to the Super Bowl. But that's
not quite, Dave. Not quite.
So great season for the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
So then the next game was filled with controversy. We had the Bills and the Chiefs because again,
Okay, I'll just say it now. I mean, irregardless of the outcome of that, because there was still a penalty on the play. Everybody forgets about it, but that was not a catch. That ball hit the ground. Neither one of them had control. No catch. But there was still a penalty on the play. So it would have went in Kansas City's favor anyway. Right.
I mean, they would have kept possession regardless. So and the other play with the fourth down, the spotting the ball. I mean, you asked me, that was the first down.
I thought the Kincaid one was more.
Yeah, I mean, the Kincaid was the first down to me. So it shouldn't even came to that play.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, you see that muddled mess. You couldn't. I mean, and they didn't rule it. But again, of course, I'm going to equate this with the Chiefs like this, man. So what I always learned when it came to like boxing, like when you watch a heavyweight bout and it's for the championship, you have to beat the champion. Don't let it come down to the scorecard. You got to knock his ass the fuck out.
No, you're not wrong.
Because if you let it go to the scorecard, they're going to be like, oh, these are the champs right here. They play winning football. They play, he wins fights. They're like, you got to knock his ass the fuck out, and that's what it is with the Chiefs. You got to knock them out.
And they didn't.
They didn't.
Buffalo did not.
They did not. I mean, so you cannot give them any room, give any chance. Patrick Mahomes is too much of a dog. If you give him any type of room, he's not scared of any moment. He's going to make big plays happen. So, the Bills, unfortunately, they said Buffalo, they're probably the most scorned fans in all of sports. The Sabres have never won. The Buffalo Sabres have never won in the NHL. The Bills with the 4 losses in a row in the Super Bowl.
It's never happened.
Now they got this great squad, but they ran into the Patrick Mahomes era. So is this going to be like Josh Allen's Michael Jordan to being Patrick Ewing and Charles Barkley? I mean,
I don't know. It's got to end sometimes. They're roughly the same age, aren't they? So this is going to go on for years.
It can go back and forth, but I mean, the thing is,
that quarterback in the Bills,
Jim Kelly. Yeah, Jim Kelly.
Yeah, Jim Kelly. Yeah, well, the first Super Bowl actually was Frank Reich. Because
that's
right. Jim Kelly made it back.
He made it back.
Yeah, that was the next year, I think. But Frank Reich did the playoff game.
Yeah, against Houston.
You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking when Jeff Hostetler had to take over.
Yeah,
Phil
that
Simms.
was the Giants Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Giants Super Bowl against the Bills. Yeah, and when they lost to Jeff Hostetler. So I mean, that was the closest chance they had there too. Because that was Scott Norwood missed, and then after that,
wide right,
they were just blowout after blowout because the Redskins blew them out the next year, and then the Cowboys the next 2 years. So I mean, like this, and then like I said again, now they're stuck in this Patrick Mahomes era. Just a scorn franchise. They show so many memes on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Like all the fans, the Bills fans in stands crying and just.
Josh Allen's press conference was like sad looking. Oh, he looked like a dog that had just been kicked.
And it sucks because he balls too. It's not like it's his fault that they're losing.
No, that was not his fault at all.
I mean, but they're gonna have to do some things to shore up that defense. They're gonna have to add a little bit more size to the line.
They've got to get a pass rush.
Well, and they need some playmakers in the secondary too. I mean, they definitely need some. But yes, they definitely need a pass rush.
They got to get a pass rush.
Pass rush would be huge. But I mean, Brandon Beane's a good GM, so we'll see. I'm sure they'll figure it out. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and dive into this. A little bit of a preview into this week here. Without giving our picks,
Super Bowl nobody wants. Super Bowl nobody wanted.
This is a tough one for me every time. Like the last time they did this 4 years ago, this was definitely.
I actually despise both these teams.
I do too. And you know what? It's more for me more of the fans of these teams than it is the actual teams themselves. It's more the fans of these teams that have pushed me.
Right. Nah, it's just the Eagles are just natural.
Get out of here. Right. I mean, that's a natural rivalry. Chiefs fans have just made me, especially St. Louis Chiefs fans, have made me slowly.
They're the worst.
Oh, it's made me sick to my stomach, man. Listen to this shit. So again, this is going to be a big player prop bet because I won't be rooting for anybody to win, and either way it goes.
No.
So it's going to be a big player prop bet for me. Now, the last time this team played, this is what I like to call a gambler's delight, is what that was. Because I hit 2 bets of plus 2,200, over plus 2,200.
I was just looking at it because they've got a parlay on here. Where everybody recreates their stats from the last time they played, and these are kind of crazy what they did.
No, that's what I mean. The last game of 38-35, that was a beautiful game for if you had prop bets laid out in parlays. I'm telling you, that was a game. I had like 6-leg and a 7-leg that I hit that Super Bowl, man, and they were done by almost halftime. Like I think I got into the third quarter when the first one hit.
Yeah, I
and
think
by
there
the
was
end
like
of the third quarter,
5 receivers over 50 yards and touchdowns.
This time around, I mean, it's going to be a lot different. I mean, I don't think it's going to be nearly the offensive explosion.
because the Eagles have slowed down their offense with that methodical run game, they like to use the clock up.
They rushed the ball 200 times more than they passed the ball this season, which is amazing. That's amazing. That's in the modern day NFL. That is absolutely amazing. So I mean, it's going to be a good Super Bowl. We'll see what happens. As far as I think both teams are fairly healthy for the most part. We'll keep an eye on.
Yeah, they really should be.
At least keep an eye on Cam Jurgens. At least you got 2 weeks for Jalen Hurts to get a little bit healthier. Even though his legs looked good last week because he
looked fine. He did not look like he was slowed up.
Yeah, he was struggling at all. So I mean, it's gonna be a great matchup back and forth. Right now, the Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites. The over-under's at 48.5 right now, so we'll see when we dive into this in a couple of days when we do our next shoot.
I think that one might come down a little bit.
You think the over-under might come down?
What did it start out at, like 50.5, I believe?
I think I had 49.5 is what I saw when they first
I know it's come down a little bit.
Yeah, it was like 49.5 was what I saw when it first came out, but we'll see. As far as, like how much offense is actually going to be, the firepower, how much firepower is going to be unleashed here, because you got 2 great defensive coordinators with 2 good solid defenses. I can see it being a slugfest.
It's going to be a slug in the trenches because, Mahomes just had so much time to work with last week against the Bills, and he's just not going to have that kind of time against the Eagles.
Without giving my pick away and diving into this thing, one of the things that the Eagles are going to have the Chiefs are going to have a hard time with the Eagles defense is because they moved Tooney outside to tackle. And I'd like to see they go into this game with Tooney still at tackle, because the thing is, Tooney is a great guard. I mean, he's a potential Hall of Fame guard. I know they want to throw everybody in the Hall of Fame nowadays, but I mean, he's truly a great guard. I mean, he's done a good job at tackle. But the man that they got to worry about in the middle of this game is Jalen Carter. Yeah. Jalen Carter is a monster. You go in the next season long. I mean, we talk about Chris Jones being a good defensive tackle. Aaron Donald is now retired. He's out of the game. This is your next one, in my opinion. Okay. That next one up the middle, that true 3 technique that wrecks defenses. And when Mahomes lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you look back at that Super Bowl, the biggest thing they did was they busted up the middle. And they kept giving that pass rush in Mahomes' face, straight up the middle, and kept him from getting outside the pocket. And this is one thing that you had because they were getting to him before he could get away. And one of the things you're going to watch, because when the defensive line works in any football level, but especially in the National Football League, all 4 of those guys have to be in a cohesive, understanding of a pass rush of how we're going to contain this dude. Because the main thing you can't let happen, and teams keep letting happen time after time after time.
He breaks out.
Don't let him roll out to his right. You cannot let that. I mean, he can get it
43 yards rushing last week.
But you cannot let him roll out to his right and break out, because even if he's not going to hit you on the rush, he's going to hit you to the pass somewhere. He's going to find his lanes being a righty quarterback. If anything, you want to try and condense him, confine him inside the pocket, or get him to go to his left. Okay. And so we'll see what happens. Because Jalen Carter, I mean, like I said, this dude last year, I think they said he only played 50% of the snaps. This year, he was in like 98% of the snaps this year. So, I mean, he got in great shape.
And their defense was a lot better this year.
Oh, yeah, because he got in great shape. Vic Fangio came into the organization. He told him, he said, hey, man, you were too good to be a specialty player. I need you on this field pretty much as many plays as you possibly can. And hats off to him, and he got in the shape. He was able to play. Yeah, he was able to play 98% of the snaps. So that might be, like I said, without going too much into more of a, like, where we're going to be for the Super Bowl yet and who's going to win and what's going to happen what. That's going to be one place I think that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, there's always a surprise right before a game.
Oh, yeah, you know it. So that's why I don't even want to give any picks to anything yet. You see, make sure nobody gets arrested. Right. Any type of shit like
prostitution.
Right, so yeah, we don't need this. I'm not going to reserve our pick for later on.
Mental breakdown. That was the Raiders guy.
Barrett Robbins. Yeah, Barrett Robbins. Yeah, so that's all I got on this game for this week here. Because, like I said, we got a lot that we can come dive into as we get through the media week.
Yeah, I'll put together some nice juicy.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be the last run for me for parlay time until barely March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness.
March Madness, I'll probably have to dive back in the pool in after
month
that.
and a half.
Yeah, so, you know what, Dirk, Dave, what was your highlight of this season, brother?
My highlight?
Yeah, your highlight of this season.
Yeah, what was the highlight of your season? Probably winning.
Redskins making it to the playoffs.
Winning $100 off of me. Winning $100 off of me.
Yeah, Dave says, "Fuck those Commanders, the Redskins." It was funny that Sunday. I think everybody that was Washington fans that came into the bar that day had on Redskins gear.
Oh yeah, they did, without a doubt.
There was no Commanders gear. There was no Washington football team. It was Redskins.
Yeah, it was all Redskins.
I was seeing Redskins beanies, Redskins jump sweatpants.
Joe Theismann signed jersey.
But it has. It's been a hell of a season. It really has. I hate to see it wind down, because, then
the dog days of summer are just around the corner.
Like I sat there, I was sitting there at the bar on Thursday trying to get ready to throw darts, and I sat there and I was like, man, no Thursday night football.
Yep, no Thursday night football.
No Sunday night football.
No Monday night football.
No Monday night football. We got the Super Bowl left, and that's it.
But, hey, Four Nations is coming up. The NHL's attempt to ruin their All-Star game.
I know. Everybody's pretty much, I'm not even going to touch the Pro Bowl.
Oh, did you watch any of that?
I saw clips.
I did too, and it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed for everybody involved.
All I needed to see was that relay race where guys were fumbling the ball in the relay race, and then the Bosu brothers speed walking against each other. I was like, okay, this has become the damn NFL carnival. This is the NFL carnival. This is not the Pro Bowl anymore. Not the Pro Bowl that I know.
No.
So you know what? They will. At least we got one more week to go.
Yep.
We'll get this party started. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comment section. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Shout out to Director Dave and
See you
True on the
next
Track.
week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.